Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got the sound system demo of the 2022 Genesis G70 and its 15-speaker Lexicon audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at speaker locations, audio inputs, audio controls, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and we're going to get out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Before we get started, let's hop out, take a look at this thing. Facelifted for 2022, the Genesis G70, coming in and taking a firm stance about what should be a luxury sports sedan here in 2021. Liking the facelift, I'm loving this color, I like the wheels. So far there's really not much to dislike about the G70, especially with this 3.3 liter turbo V6. So if you want to see more on the car, check the links in the description. We've got our highway fuel economy test and a full review. Now we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV audio files on a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high quality binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with sound settings set to their factory defaults, so let's take a look at those now. Nice touchscreen plopped right up on top here. It would look good if it were built into the dash a little bit, but it certainly is functional. Right here you can see you got kind of a home menu, very easy to use. It's a good size as well. So let's go right here to setup, sound. You can see how quick everything works. Starting off, you have this premium sound menu with the Quantum Logic surround settings. So we've got reference, audience, and on stage. Reference is going to give the most accurate sound for how the recording was done. Then you've also got on stage, it's going to give you kind of a half 360, and then audience is going to be a full surround sound setting. Let's go through them now. Reference definitely sounds the best, although I could see how if you were listening to a live recording or certain other types of music, you might want to try on stage or audience. But we're going to leave it in reference for most of this test. Then you've got your standard front, rear, left, right fader and balance. Sound tuning, treble, mid-range, and bass. Let's go through those. I want to point out how quick and easy it is to make these adjustments. Look how responsive this screen is. It feels nice, and it's tracking my finger perfectly. I really like how quick everything responds. After that, you've got some volume settings and guidance settings, that sort of thing. You can see I have the sound beep off for touching the screen. For audio controls in the G70, you have a very nice volume knob right here. Easy to grab, easy to reach, easy to turn, nice clicks. You also have a volume scroller on the left side of the steering wheel. I love that. It's very Mercedes-esque, but Mercedes is now abandoning the volume scroller, so Genesis has still got it and it works great. For track selection, you have a rotary tune knob here. You can use the touchscreen controls if you're there, or you can use this rocker right next to the volume controls on the left side of the steering wheel. Works great. For audio inputs in the G70, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, a USB-A port, the Sounds of Nature gimmick, which we'll go through later on the street, and then Android Auto and Apple CarPlay both wired. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, no USB Type-C, no wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, no disc player, and no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. None of those are the end of the world for me, but this being a 2022 model, it would be nice to see USB Type-C and wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. For speaker locations, as I said, this is a 15-speaker system, sporting 660 maximum watts. Starting in the bottom left, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 up front, 5, 6, 7. Underneath the seats, 8, 9 for floor-mounted subwoofers. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 here in the back deck lid. Now, regarding those floor-mounted subwoofers, we'll see later on if they can really hold their own with bass, but I always think when a car like this goes without a good trunk-mounted large subwoofer, they're setting themselves up for a little bit of disappointment with bass. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Let's start off with, I suppose we'll do CarPlay first. Now, it must be said there's only one data USB port in this car, so if you want to have say, your USB music going and also see your Apple CarPlay maps, that's not something you can do. I'm going to stop that, unplug the device, plug that in, and right away we get CarPlay prompts. Allow. There we go. Takes up the whole screen. Looks really good. Great brightness, great resolution. You can kind of swipe through to your home menu here. Go music screen, very wide. And your settings. All right, how about Android Auto? Now, interestingly, we don't get the same widescreen setup for Android Auto as we did in Apple CarPlay, and you're also not getting the widescreen version of Android Auto. People who use Android Auto regularly know on some screens you can get sort of a widescreen setup. Over here it would tell you your time, maybe music information, but instead we're just subjugated to this smaller screen. But the resolution's decent. Got there's Google Podcasts. We got Tidal right here, and let's take a look at Maps. There we go. All right, let's get the music going again and get out on the road. lot of good stuff going on with the Lexicon sound system here, but one aspect that I think Genesis and the Lexicon sound designers sort of shot themselves in the foot. They created a very crisp, honest, good sounding upper end and mid end, in front of you. So the sound stage is right out in front. It sounds very proper. It sounds accurate. You get these great crisp highs and crisp mids. I really like that. But what most people care about in the sound system is having some power, having some and some of that bass kick. It goes as far as to the BMW iX that we were sitting in last week has actual vibration elements in the lumbar of the seat to make you feel the sound. Now that's a little too gimmicky, but I do understand that you listen to a song like this, you want to feel that driving force, you want to have that extra element to your music. And this song, when the bass guitar comes in, is a great example of you should feel that, and it doesn't really happen. If I skip back right here, right when the guitar comes in, the bass, right here. I guess it's a little early. Go away, come on. Let's see. Right there. I'm not getting it from the low end, and that's a bit of a shame because it's so good and crisp up high. But anyway, let's turn the music down here real quick. Hear the G70 at 70. It's quite quiet in here. We're getting a lot of these little road imperfections. These are fairly new, so maybe it's kind of coming through a little loud that way, but overall road and wind noise is quite good. Another thing we should show you is the sounds of nature features. There's a little bit of a gimmick on Hyundai and Kia products. So you've got some sounds that maybe if you wanted to sort of disconnect and listen to those, it's I don't know. Take it for what it is. We'll go through a few of them. This is Lively Forest. You've got Calm Sea Waves. Rainy Day. Open Air Cafe. Warm Fireplace. And last but not least, Snowy Village. Oh, those are kind of silly, but they're there. Some people might like them. Let me know in the comments if you own a Hyundai Kia product and have used that, like realistically. Alright, for this song, we're going to turn the bass all the way up and see what these in-floor subwoofers can do. Good amount of response. I'm going to turn that back to center. Not really anything. So we're getting a good amount of ear shakage with the bass up, which brings me to a point I was going to bring up at the end, but I found when I was listening to my own music on this system, I had to turn the bass up. I had the treble down 1, I had the bass up 3 or 4. That's not something I typically have to do. So let's go back. Let's turn the bass up 3, treble down 1. Let's go back and listen to that last song, at least for the intro. See how it sounds. It's better. It really is. It adds a little bit of low ends to the song. Yeah, the standard tuning, the bass is just a little too soft, and it's one thing if you have a rear-mounted big subwoofer that can really provide a lot of resonance, but if you're dealing with these little guys, you're going to have to tune the tuning up. Anyway, let's stick that back to center, and let's go down to our next track. 15 speaker Lexicon system here in the 2022 Genesis G70. Overall, I'm pretty darn happy with the system. There are some nitpicks and there are things I could see people not super liking about the system and thinking it's weak, but overall I think the sound engineers did a really good job and the speakers are pretty darn premium. I've been going back and forth on what rating the system should get. It's definitely, it's around an A or a B. So let me start with my second rating first. Subjectively speaking, for this class of vehicle, compared to the competition, the price, everything like that, it's definitely an A system. It works well, the system, the screen's very responsive, you got a decent amount of inputs. I would like to see Type-C and wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, maybe they can add that soon on here. But overall, sound quality, use, everything, it's an A system for the price. It's objectively speaking, completely, let's see if we're going to get pulled over. I'm debating taking the camera off my head. Let's see if they care. Anyway, objectively speaking, strictly sound quality, I'm going to go with a B. And it's a B+. It's a really good B+, but it's just the fact you got to make those adjustments just to get the bass at least somewhat par. It's not quite up there with the other A systems, but it's really close. This is definitely better than the 3 Series, but not quite as good as the S60 V60. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to see more on the G70, check the link in the description. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.